The Ryan and Rush Show is brought to you by Vision Homes. If you're looking to build a home in North Central West Virginia, visit askvisionhomes.com. Vision Homes, building you a house you're proud to call home. And don't forget to subscribe to the Ryan and Rush Show, but don't take our word for it. Take Coach Nealon's.
Hi, this is Coach Don Nealon, and you're watching the Ryan and Rush Show. Please subscribe.
Welcome you into another edition of the Ryan and Rush Show, your source for West Virginia sports. Our preseason basketball series continues with another assistant coach. We welcome on Jordan McCabe, Mr. J5, Mr. 25 years old, youngest assistant probably there is out there. But hey, no, you can throw it around with the guys out on the floor. You're just a player last year. Jordan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I don't know. This keeps coming up. We're gonna have to figure out whether or not I'm the youngest in Power 5 or college basketball or whatever it is, so we can put a stamp on it. It came up at the Josh Eilert inaugural show last night too, so we're gonna have to figure out so I can firmly say yes or no on that. But happy to be here.
You have to use whatever works to your advantage. If it looks good to be the youngest, then you're the youngest. If it's like, no, I'm not the youngest. That's what you got to do.
Right.
So Jordan, yeah, well, age is just a number anyway. So let's get right into it, though, man. So your second stint as a Mountaineer, obviously you started your playing career here, go out, finish your playing career in Las Vegas for Coach Kruger. Now coming back, obviously it has not been a calm offseason. How has the preseason gone, transitioning over from a player now into a coach right off the bat in such a crazy offseason?
Yeah, I mean, crazy offseason to say the least. I think I should probably just start from the beginning, from my coaching career, the beginning of that. Midway through my last year at UNLV, I really started to kind of push the idea through my fiance, my family, everybody around me. I knew I had a feeling like I wanted to coach. That has kind of been within my mentality and mindset for a lot of years now, even as a player. I think that comes with the territory as a point guard. So, it's been good. It's been really good in terms of the experience that I've been able to get in the first few months here. I came over initially when they expanded the staffs on all college basketball programs to 2 more coaching positions. Now, every program uses those 2 differently, and I thought that my best foot in the door would be player development, something that I was very passionate about, still am very passionate about. So I called Coach Huggins, last year and kind of floated the idea to him and just see if I could get in. I had already got my master's, and with the new positions, maybe I didn't have to be a GA year 1. So that was kind of where we landed, and I came over, and then obviously things happen, and obviously Coach Huggins not with us anymore in the program. There was definitely some rockiness there, but what kept firm was my relationship with Coach Eilert. Josh and I have grown very close through my 3 years here at West Virginia. Anybody who's been around him knows how great of a person he is. It's easy to gravitate towards him. He's a leader of men. He's great in that way. And when he got the job, I had one other job offer at the time when, for lack of a better term, stuff hit the fan. Minnesota came in and offered a player development and had a recruiting role. Coach Johnson did that, and I had to tell Coach Johnson I was going to stay with Coach Eilert, no matter interim contract or not. And that's when Coach Eilert offered me an assistant role, which I wasn't naive to how amazing that opportunity is for a young coach, somebody who's just played basketball, like you said, last year in college, almost unheard of. So couldn't be more grateful to Coach Eilert and the opportunity he's given me. And that's how I've approached this, chaotic period, is it's opportunity. There's opportunity through chaos. There's opportunity through adversity. I think our team is learning that right now as well. And, when it's your time to step up and God gives you that opportunity, you got to grab hold of it.
Yeah, you've been put in, well, obviously you've earned it. It's a lot of adversity going on right now, as we talked about, but you're in a very unique position, Jordan, as you were saying, is that you are a 25-year-old assistant coach. That really doesn't happen. I mean, you were just playing for UNLV last year, but you've grinded it out. You've worked hard. You've been very progressive in the sense of, hey, I got to figure out what I'm doing the following year. So while it's very hard right now and kind of what we talked about, you're in a position where we'll see how this year goes, of course. I know you're not even looking past this year, never mind tomorrow, because there's a lot to still figure out. But I think that is a great mindset for you to look at this as an opportunity and, hey, be in a position. If we can figure this out now, no matter what I come across in my coaching experience, I'll figure it out because I've already done it, right? So kind of being in that position and having that state of mind, originally playing here at West Virginia and playing for Hugs, coming in as a player, did that help you be in the position you're at now to really put a positive spin on this and see this as an opportunity?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a two-pronged answer. The first prong was relationships, right? I've always been a big believer in working hard and treating people the right way. And I got to play for a coach and Coach Huggins who believed in that as well. So that relationship then paid dividends down the road. And then the other part of it is just adversity. Coach Huggins was somebody who put you through adversity every single day in practice. And you thought, well, this is great. Well, actually, you don't actually think that as a player. You think this sucks. But you think, I'll be ready for the game because of how hard our practices are and the adversity that he installs in practice on purpose. What you don't realize when you're a player is the adversity he's putting you through prepares you for life. I think that's what Coach Huggins was best at. He prepared men for life. And I think that, that can be few and far between nowadays with the approach some people take to certain things, and they can shy away from adversity at times. And Coach Eilert's the same way. I mean, we talk about every single day. We don't have a victim mentality around here. So if you have that, the door's that way. We're not going to lean into that as a coaching staff, as players, as an entire family. We're just not going to do that. So that's how what I experienced here as a player prepared me for where I'm at now as a coach.
And Jordan, I'm glad that you mentioned that because that's been the common denominator when everybody leaves Hugs or set up for success. Obviously, we were in the same building together for your sophomore, junior year. And when the ball was bouncing down there, I knew it was either you or Deuce McBride. It was going to be one of the two guys, whether it was at 6 a.m. or at midnight, whatever it was. You mentioned it, though. Hugs is demanding, or Hugs was demanding. He made you better. Talk about how that prepared you for your last 2 years at UNLV playing for Coach Kruger and how that experience helps you more rounded as a coach, getting a different experience. I know we had talked about that. The best thing that for me was going from Hugs over to Frank to get a new perspective. Is that the same that feeling that you have, getting a new perspective, learning from the Kruger tree?
Yeah, you know what? I think the more experiences and the more perspective you have on this game, the better. Basketball is the most beautiful game in the world. Not only playing it and watching it and coaching it, but just the relationships that it brings you. I think the best thing you can do as a young guy in the game is experience as many different things and as many different perspectives and approaches to the game as you can. Now, that's not why I left. I left because I wanted a bigger role, plain and simple. And that can happen. I graduated in 3 years, had a grad transfer at the time. This was, the portal was just starting to get crazy. I jumped in it, and Coach Kruger gave me a call. It was his first year as a head coach, taking over after TJ Osselberger left. And I was all in, given his pedigree. Lon Kruger is one of the greatest to ever coach basketball, in my opinion. And knowing that Coach Kevin Kruger grew up with him and under him as a coach, and not only that, as a son, it was somebody I wanted to play for. And I take a lot from what they do. I got to meet a lot of good people there. I don't want to leave anybody out, but, Coach Chappelle, my first year, is now at Texas. Brandon Chappelle is a really, really good up-and-coming young coach, and he was with me at UNLV. So it was the 7 a.m.s with him, the 6 a.m.s with him year one. Then he goes to Texas, and I, meet a guy like Barrett Peary, Coach Peary, somebody that I take a ton from in terms of what it means to be a good assistant coach. I didn't realize that I'd have to be using some of those things I picked up so early, but I'm forever grateful for the relationships that I got to build out there and being able to watch how they approach the game. A lot different than Coach Hugs. The easy one is just point out like practice time and, things like that, taking more of you hear people toss around the professional approach, which is funny because pros are the hardest workers in the world. But young guys like to think, well, I'm going to be a pro about it and work less. And that's just not how it works. So with that being said, Coach Kruger does a great job with his program, picked up a ton of things, like I said, and just trying to apply all the different things that I've learned, not only from the 2 college programs that I've been in, but high school as well. Met a lot of people, did a lot of things, played for a Hall of Famer and Coach Mike Shallow in a small town in Wisconsin. There's things that he does in his program at Kakana that I still rely on and lean on every single day. I mean, I got my 2 state championships in my office right now, and people like to poke fun at me, but I swear those are some of the best teams that I've been a part of. And how he ran an organization, I don't care what level it is. He does it to the best of his ability, and he's one of the best in the game.
So taking all that experience that you just mentioned, whether high school basketball in Wisconsin, going to UNLV for a couple years, obviously being a player here for Hugs, and then coming back here as an assistant coach for what you thought was Hugs, but ends up being Josh Eilert. How can you build on what's already been established here at West Virginia?
Well, I don't think you do anything to the foundation of what's here. Sure, are there things that Coach Eilert does different than Coach Huggins? Yes, but the foundation is what we all gravitated towards. And I say we as the coaching staff and the assistants right now, from DeMar to Alex to Deshaun and myself, everybody who has had a hand in what is West Virginia culture. I know DJ's obviously a Cincinnati guy. Same thing that Hugs instilled there was we're going to outwork people. And I think that's a common denominator in any line of work, especially ours, though. The margin of error is small, and the margin of separation is small. There's a lot of really good teams. There's a lot of really good players. But what can be a distinguishable factor and something you can control every day is what our foundation is, and that's just work ethic. Like Ryan said, that's something I've really tried to embody. Days I'm feeling it or not feeling it. Deuce McBride, same way. Only person in my lifetime that I can truly say, like, he outworked me as a player. He didn't have to. He was better than me already, but he did. And that's the reason he's a pro now, which takes me back to the point that is hilarious. And having a pro mentality doesn't mean we take a step back or go at 50%. Those guys go harder than anybody in the country. They're just smarter about it.
Great points, Jordan. And you mentioned it. I mean, everybody's had a piece of the pie of building that place into what it's been, a top 15 program over the 15 years of the Hugs era. And just your guys' staff all being together for one run here with Coach Eilert. And that gets me into Josh. Obviously, I know Josh very well. I work with Josh, love the guy. Rush knows Josh. Jordan, you know Josh. Obviously, you played while he was director of operations. Then he got promoted to assistant coach. Mountaineer Nation is learning slowly about Josh Eilert. What can you tell our fans out there what they're getting in Josh Eilert leading this program?
Well, I guess let's start with the negatives about my boss is he can't shoot a bow and arrow as straight as I can. But other than that, everything's really good. No, Josh is unreal. We've both kind of picked up bow hunting and archery a little bit to, I think, get the mind off it anytime you can and find a little balance. But no, Josh is unbelievable. Like I said earlier, he's a leader of men. And in order to be that, you have to walk the walk. He's a great father, and that doesn't go unnoticed within our program. The way he is with his family, it pays dividends when it comes to having to tell somebody what to do. You want to be able to trust and lean and rely on somebody who is a good person, and not only tells you what to do, but shows you what he's asking too. We want leaders on the floor. He's a leader on and off it, and he's done a great job. He really has, with the situation and the cards that he was dealt. Not many people could take it with the grace that he has. And now it's full speed ahead. And he's once again been great in the on the floor stuff. Nobody's going to outwork us as a whole staff, but that starts from the top down. He's somebody who really cares, and you can feel that, and it pays dividends with our guys. They feel like they can trust and rely on him. They feel like they can talk to him. But no, he's been terrific. Couldn't be more grateful to work for somebody like him. And I'm truly glad that I made the decision I did. No matter the chaos that we have to go through, I know I'm in the right spot. I know I'm at home with him.
That's awesome, Jordan. Thank you for sharing that. And something I want to ask you too is, we've been asking all the assistant coaches this, is if you had a message for this fan base, if you want the fans to really know something about this team, this coaching staff, the basketball program as a whole, what would you like them to know?
That's a great question. I think what we'd like the fans of West Virginia to know is that the torch is being carried and the culture is being carried on with it. What we do here, like I said before, I know I'm getting repetitive, is we outwork people, and Josh isn't going away from that. And the culture, we say that word a lot. We're trying to build it to where we want it, and then the success will follow that. I think that's a constant within every great program and every national championship program, is it started somewhere, but the foundation was strong. And if you want to look at us and ask, well, what are they about? I think it is the work ethic. You can trust as a fan that we don't cut corners around here. You can trust that what we're trying to build has a lot of thought and a lot of work behind it, a lot of early mornings and late nights behind it.
That's great.
Absolutely, Jordan. And one last question before we let you go. We know you're a busy man. Obviously, we're down a couple guys, whether it's injuries, NCAA. The real question is, if when we get everybody back full strength, who wins? The staff led by you at the point. You got Deshaun and Ruoff on the wings. You got DeMar out there too, and then you got big man in the middle, Josh Eilert, and he wants to play the game in a half court. We all know that, but we play the game full court. Who wins? You guys or the players?
Yeah, it's funny that you say Coach Eilert wants to play it in the half court. Anytime we do play against our players, fatigue becomes a factor. And when Josh says he likes to play in the half court, it means he doesn't cross half court. He guards.
Defense optional.
Yeah. Well, no. Defense only. He just guards and then he doesn't cross half court, and he just waits. He lets us go 4-on-5 down there. So with that being said, the fans need to know that our guys would beat the crap out of us, which is good, because we're not scoring another point for the Mountaineers, but our guys will. So that's my answer there. But if there's closed doors, cameras off, my answer would be different, because I still am.
Yeah, no, you guys. Hey, is there a better staff out there than you guys? I haven't seen one.
Hell no.
Go have Josh post up against Bill Self out there and see how that get all the years of frustration, just put it right back on him against
the fog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he'd throw a hook. We'd have to have refs involved in that one.
And Josh would find a way to get suspended, and Bill Self would just be fine too. So
no comment.
Yeah, there we go. I made the comment, so no, we'll keep it clean. Jordan,
there you go. You're learning from Hugs after all this year. Plead the fifth.
Right, plead the fifth.
There you go. Jordan, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate having you. Good luck this season, and we'll do it again soon. Thank you again.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Looking forward
to it.
All
right, Jordan. Go Mountaineers.